Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm a CIS and Marketing dual major at Georgia State. And today I'm going to teach you about macros. Now you're probably wondering, who is this health freak? Is he going to put me on a diet? Wrong macros. We're talking about macros in Excel, which are a set of pre-recorded instructions that can be used to complete a task. Let me show you. Alright, so the task we're trying to complete is to take our decoder ring here, copy all of the values in it down to the empty decoder ring. Then we want to be able to take the yellow cells and move them counterclockwise, and the blue cells and move them clockwise. So if you were to do this manually, it would take a while because it would take multiple steps to complete. Using macros, we're going to make it so that just with a few clicks of a button, we can go ahead and get this done. A good rule of thumb when working with macros is to do everything on a copy, because once you run a macro, you can't undo what you just did. So we're going to come down to decoder ring and we're going to right click on it and we're going to create a copy. So we're going to click move or copy. Let's go ahead and move it to the end and we're going to create a copy. So let's do our macro. So you want to come up to the top and click on the view ribbon. Mine is already clicked on. You want to come over to macros and hit record macro, and it's going to ask you a couple questions. So first of all, what's the macro name? We're going to go ahead and name ours copy. And next it's going to ask the shortcut key. So this is the button you push to run the macro. And let's bind ours to Control-Shift-O. And we're going to sort in this workbook, and we don't really need a description. So once you hit OK, Excel is recording everything you do. It's important to keep that in mind because if you do things out of order or you make a mistake, Excel will record that too. Even if you decide to click on a different tab, say you want to pull up Google, you can't do that because Excel won't recognize that command when it's trying to run the macro. So let's go ahead and copy everything from our top box and move it down to our empty one. Alright, let's go ahead and click away just so that copy box will go away. And you want to hit stop recording once you're done. Alright, so let's move on to our second macro. So we're going to do the same thing, come over to macros, hit record macro, and this time we're going to name it rotate. We're going to bind it to Shift-I, and we're going to hit OK. And I'm going to go ahead and run through these steps since it takes a little while. And once you're done, you're going to again come over and hit stop recording. So let's create another copy to see if our macros work. So we're just going to come back to decoder ring, go back to move or copy. We'll move this one to the end too and create another copy. So first we want to copy paste everything, and we can do that with our macro binded to Control-Shift-O. Looks like that one works. And now we want to rotate everything. So let's go ahead and hit Control-Shift-I and let's see. Looks like everything's working perfectly. Alright, so let's just run it a few more times. Alright, well that's how you create a macro. And if you're ever confused about what your macro does or what buttons you binded it to, you can come over to macros and hit view macros. And there's our copy one and there's our rotate one, and you can either run them from here, you can delete them, or you can hit options and change anything you want. Congratulations, now you know how to create macros. And remember, the best place in Excel to go after a long day of work is the formula bar.